take stuff out.
Bed, you know?
Yeah. But I had to justify it. You know, she has to see me. I'll go across the street with the chainsaw and cut 80 stuff. Sometimes you'll see me go down in front of you.
Okay, everybody, welcome. Tonight we will not be having a Board of Works meeting. Mr. Mooch Calloway was lined up to be on vacation or scheduled, and then Mr. Paul Seymour has a family matter that's going on. And before we would start the meeting, I would ask that people keep your thoughts and prayers with Mr. Seymour and his family, because it's a very serious family issue that they had to deal with today and will be in the upcoming days. So good friends of ours as well. So I appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is call to order then the council meeting for September 16, 2019. Could we all stand for the pledge, please?
Yeah.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Richardson, can I get a roll call, please?
Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Aaron Cook.
Here.
Councilperson Mel Davis.
Here.
Councilperson Randy Abner.
Here.
Councilperson Paul Seymour Jr. is absent. Police Chief Don Combs.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Rick Clark.
Here.
City Attorney Del Weldon.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
City Coordinator Brian Messmore.
Here.
City Court Judge Joe Johns. Mayor Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
All right, announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs. Mr. Cook?
I got two announcements, Mayor. One is I just want to let the board know and the people in the audience know that I spoke to one of the board members at the Fairhavens, and they said the Fairhaven East building is getting an $80,000 grant for sure to help renovate that building. And they applied for a $1 million grant for Fairhaven West. And if they can get that, they'll find out next month. They would do a total renovation of that building. I just want to let the board know about that. And then the second item, I don't know how to bring it up politely, but over the past week and a half, I've been getting these bills and invoices, and it says that that you, Kelly, got the city paid for some items in your new house.
I got what?
Some items in your new house totaling $4,000.
Paid for?
Yeah, it's a grinder pump. I got the things here. I don't know. Over the past week and a half, I've been getting these things that the city paid for it.
That bill is completely paid off.
If you're talking about, I think I know what you're talking about, Aaron.
You need to see this, or do you know? It's a grinder pump from 2016 when the house was being built.
Yes, and what they did was they took X number of dollars out of each paycheck until it was paid off in full, and then I paid the remainder, I believe.
Well, that's not exactly accurate. You asked me to order it for you, and I did. And when I presented you with the bill, at that point, you told me you didn't have the money and that I would have to payroll deduct you. And when I told you that I wasn't comfortable with that, you said that if I wanted paid, that's what I had to do. And I said, says who? And you said, I said, I'm the mayor, and I say. And so we payroll deducted you. You're the only person that we've ever payroll deducted. And I get several calls a year from people who have grinder pumps go out that would like some assistance with it. They never get it, but that decision wasn't left to me. It wasn't paid for like you said it would be when the bill came due. So yeah, Aaron, I know what you're talking about.
My main question was, one, was it paid? And I guess it is then. And the other was, do we do this for everybody? That's my.
Well, I will address that. It's no secret that Mr. Clausen would say anything that he could up here to discredit me. I did build a new home in 2016, and I had the money to pay for it. So I don't know. He approached me but I'm not gonna get it, he said, she said. All I know is the bill is paid in full, non-issue. But thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Olin.
I didn't bring it up, but I mean,
I
for
have a problem with this right here now too, because here we are saying that he had this bill, but nobody bothered to tell you that it was paid for.
Or
'Cause
nobody,
if they bothered to tell you it was paid for, it would never been brought up.
I probably would, because, I mean, if everybody has the option to do this, it's not a big deal, but
So
if,
who's the secret guy that sent it to you?
I'm not gonna tell you that, but,
Well, we know who did that. Let's move on.
but I have the invoices here. But
All right.
do we do that for everybody though, Mayor?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're asking the wrong person. Ask the guy that gave you
Can I
that.
speak?
I'm sorry? No.
I furnished that, just so you know.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Well,
Thanks, Mike.
that's payment in advance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Finance, Mr. Cook, or Mr. Abbott.
We're fine.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Seymour, he didn't have anything to share today. Fire, Randy Abner?
No report this time, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. We also had an additional meeting, September the 6th, I believe it was.
That was for Board of Works.
Yeah. Oh, that's Board of Works, and we have one for Parks and Playgrounds, so we'll carry that to the next meeting then. Okay, committee reports, Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
I shared, everybody should have a copy of an email I shared. We are getting evaluated again through the insurance offices, service offices. So in the email, it just tells a little bit about what they're asking of the fire department, and I gotta get some information from the county also, and the city and utilities. So if you wanna read through it, basically in the next couple of weeks, my office will be upside down, just getting the information together and making sure it's right. I shouldn't say that, we've got the information, but I just get worked up over it, but we'll do all right. Second thing is just we're gearing up for all the fall fest events. That's all I got.
Big week coming up next week. Police Chief Donnie Combs.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing is, I share the information on the semis on the streets with my officers. So if there's any issues of anyone on those streets, Arch, St. Clair, make sure they let us know so we can check into it.
Okay.
That's all I have.
EMS Director Rick Clark.
Thanks, Mayor. Nothing to report tonight.
Okay. New business, Mr. Richardson. Oh, wait. Oh, I did.
Thank you, Mayor.
Judge Joe Johns.
The Lawrenceburg City Court had 236 cases filed in the month of August, which brings us to a total year-to-date count of 2,138 cases. The city court collected and distributed $33,305.59 of total judgments, which brings us to the unofficial total for this year of $302,566.39. Further, Your Honor, the court will be closed October 2nd during the afternoon for our mandatory initial e-filing training. Our start date for e-filing will kick off on October 4th. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, as everybody sees on their agenda, we'll have to adjourn about 6:45 for the public hearing for additional appropriations if the meeting isn't over yet. So just wanted to remind people of that. One item I do have, it's not on the agenda, that Greg Townsend from Special Olympics couldn't be here tonight. And he asked it if he could get approval to have the fire truck pull the same times as this year for next year downtown here. So I told him I'd bring it up and see if you guys are okay with that. I get a motion?
I'd be willing to make the motion.
Second?
I'll say.
Aaron? Aaron second?
I think, yeah, I think
Mel
Mel
second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. Thank you. Now, Mr. Richardson, ordinance to close Fund 296.
This would be ordinance 12-2019, whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg adopted ordinance number 2-2009 on January 20th, 2009, to create the Public Entity Loan Program, Fund 296, whereas the Common Council now determines that the Public Entity Loan Program Fund should be closed, whereas the Common Council has the authority pursuant to its statutory and home rule powers to create, amend, merge, and abolish funds. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg that the city shall and does hereby close the Public Entity Loan Program Fund. Upon dissolution, the fund balance from the Public Entity Loan Program Fund shall be transferred to the Municipal Development Fund, or MDF. Any future receipts or payments related to public loans for the Public Entity Loan Program Fund will be receipted into the Rainy Day Fund.
What's the ordinance number on this?
This will be ordinance 12-2019.
Okay. Any questions up here? I entertain a motion to approve this ordinance on the first reading if everything was, if it's all in,
So moved.
hold on.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, the next one, Mr. Richardson, is ordinance for the Civic Park Fund transfer.
Be ordinance 13-2019, whereas the Common Council for the City of Lawrenceburg adopted ordinance number 5-2019 on April 1st, 2019, to provide financing of an economic development project and economic development facilities, the project for F&C development, and whereas the Common Council now determines that funding needs to be transferred from the Civic Park Development Fund to the Municipal Development Fund for a portion of this financing for the project. Now, therefore, be it ordained, the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, that the City of Lawrenceburg shall and does hereby transfer $5 million from the Civic Park Development Fund to the Municipal Development Fund. In the event there is a default of the financing and loan agreement and project for F&C Development Incorporated is terminated, the $5 million will revert back to the Civic Park Development Fund.
Questions?
Yeah, so we will get to approve the loan agreement still and everything, right?
Oh,
Before-
yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that'll all happen before closing.
okay.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 13-2019 on the first reading, provided everything is unanimous. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Next item, Mr. Richardson, is the Brownfield Grant Ordinance. This is to create the fund for the Brownfield Grant.
Yeah, this will be ordinance 14-2019, whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg has been awarded the Brownfield Coalition Assessment Grant, the Brownfield Grant, through the Environmental Protection Agency's EPA Brownfield Program in the amount of $600,000. Whereas the Brownfield Grant is funded through federal dollars and will be used as per the cooperative agreement by the Lawrenceburg Brownfield Coalition to inventory, characterize, assess, and conduct cleanup planning and community involvement related activities for Brownfield sites in the cities of Lawrenceburg, Aurora, and Greendale, Indiana. Whereas the Common Council now determines that the Brownfield Grant Fund should be created to properly track grant dollars and spending separate from the funds of the city, and whereas the Common Council has authority pursuant to its statutory and home rule powers to create, amend, merge, and abolish funds, now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg that the City of Lawrenceburg shall and does hereby create the Brownfield Grant Fund, number 510. The Brownfield Grant Fund shall be funded with the grant awarded under grant number 00E02496. The Brownfield Grant shall be spent pursuant to the terms of the cooperative agreement issued by the EPA with an award date of August 29th, 2019.
Okay. Any questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 14-2019 on the first reading, provided it's unanimous.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. Thank you. All right, next item, Mr. Farrar, I just want to talk about, this actually Mr. Seymour asked for this, but tell us about the winter project update that we got for the city.
Yes, the first project's going to be over at Agner Hall. We're going to be removing and replacing all the aluminum siding. From Highway 50, you notice it's got a bunch of dents, and we're going to go ahead and replace it, put green aluminum siding at the bottom 4 feet and gray above it. And what reason we're doing this is 'cause the bottom 4 feet, it seems like it's getting hit by mowers, it's getting hit by cars, and just getting all dented up. And that way, we'll be able to, if it does get dented again, we'll be able to replace it at minimum cost. Let's see, next thing we're gonna be doing is, you notice anybody's boaters that we've removed all the docks from the east ramp. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take them over there to the fairgrounds, and we're gonna replace all the boards on those. Next thing we're gonna do is at behind KFC, the concession stand, we're gonna, up in the crow's nest, we're gonna remove all the, actually we're gonna replace all the drywall that we can that's all cracked, and we're gonna paint the ceiling. We're gonna put down new flooring in there. And the other two things we got here, we got the parks here recently. There's been a lot of fires started, so we couldn't paint the floors. We're gonna paint the floors there at that bathroom, the bathroom over the fairgrounds by Agner Hall. And then we got a few trailers we're gonna put some more boards on that. So, any questions? Oh, Tony asked about that building over there at Fairgrounds, our maintenance building.
Yeah.
On one side of the maintenance building, we have everything for the Fall Fest, the stage and all that.
Oh, okay.
Everything's stored in there.
All right.
Other than that, we use it for a workshop. We've got welders over there, we've got torches over there, we got chop saws, we got drills, and that's where we built all our picnic tables last year, was over there.
All right.
So, any more questions, or?
Any questions for Kim?
Thanks, kid.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Okay, the other item on your agenda, Mr. Clark was going to needed to be presented to Board of Works first, so we're going to put that off, and it's not a time-sensitive item. So we'll table that. If I could get a motion to table the HVAC chillers.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No other new business.
Mayor, I have one thing
Nope.
about the YP 5K. They're here. Can I bring that up?
Who's that?
The YP 5K. Whiskey City. Rachel, you want to come talk about it, or you want me to talk about it?
I'm Rachel Reynolds. I'm here on behalf of the young professionals in the Lions Club. We wanted to hold the 5th annual Whiskey City 5K on Saturday, November 2nd. We did make some changes to the route because we'd like to start and end at the Civic Park if possible. I think he's going to give you guys a copy. Most of it will still happen on the trail.
When will it be?
Saturday, November 2nd. We'll start at 11. We're usually done by noon.
I know they're gonna shut the trail down for repairs. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
That's this week. It's 3 days.
Only 3 days? Okay.
Thank you.
And I believe Tommy Palmer was going to work with you, Chief Combs, just to make sure we have everything covered as far as the intersections and things like that. We have plenty of volunteers from both the YP and the Lions Club. And then we'd also want to paint the white arrows again on the street just to keep the direction of the race.
Okay, so you're going to start
So we'll start at the Civic Park, come down High Street, around the tunnel to the I&M Drive, I think that's what it's called, and pick up the trail, go down, turn around, and come back the trail all the way to the event center, and then go behind Savista, the new street, and end at the park there.
Okay. This is in conjunction with the Whiskey City Festival?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a 5K. It's been in existence for a while. They're just changing the route a little bit.
Yeah, this will be our 5th year.
Yeah. Okay. This route is probably better than what it was before. Doesn't go quite all through town, so. So was one of them we grandfathered, I believe, Chief.
Yes, it is. Just have Tommy give me a call.
Yeah, and he's already talked to CSX too, so he's got some things to update you on that, just if he needs to, but he said he would call you and set up a meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the, we call it AYP
Yeah.
5K
Whiskey
on
City
November
5K,
2nd?
yep. All right, thank you.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Rachel. Okay.
Your Honor, I have one thing I'd like to bring up.
Yes, sir.
I spoke with the Lawrenceburg Youth Football League,
Okay.
and they're getting a little worried up there at the Ludlow Hill. There's been some accidents. Kid broke his arm. Kid, I think, broken ribs or bruised ribs or something. I was up there one time. Guy fell down the steps because of diabetes problem. They were wondering if we could have a life squad up there during their home football games on Sunday. I spoke with Rick about it a little bit, and he said it might require overtime or something, but I thought maybe you could get with them and come up with something to help them out up there.
And their home games aren't every week,
No.
right?
Tony, I think they're primarily Saturday, right?
Saturdays?
Yeah, the Pee Wee football is primarily Saturday.
Well, it could be Saturdays now.
Yeah.
I think on Sundays.
Yeah. They might on occasion, very seldom do they have them on Sundays, primarily they're on Saturdays.
Who-
Well, whatever day.
Who'd you speak with?
Well,
Remember?
Tina Zent's one who called me about it. I'm not sure who's heading of the.
Who's heading up the
You guys
Pee
know
Wee
who the
football
head
this
little,
year?
the football league is now?
Used to be
Jason Sturgill.
Jason?
Jason?
If Jason could get with Rick and get him a schedule, home schedule?
Yeah, if you can get us a schedule, I can put it up on the board and see if I can get some volunteers to take up that overtime. Normally, our response time up there would be 6 to 8 minutes, but if we're out on another call, of course, it's longer, but then we're always backed up with the fire department, so.
Yeah, the last time you were out on another call and it
Yeah,
took a while.
I think that's
and
what
there's another
happened.
thing up here too. We brought this up last year. They're parking right behind the concession stand, whoever works there. And the life squads can't get in there. And that last summer, they had a heck of a time carrying this guy down that little hillside on that bed or whatever you want to call it. So we can put those blockades up there again, like we did last summer, so they're not able to park here. They can park right across the street in the parking lot. It's only another 50 foot for them to walk. And that way the life squad can get right up to the field almost.
Okay. All right. So if Jason gets with you,
Yeah,
try
we'll
to
be
work
happy to
something? Okay.
I'll get a hold of Jason and have him give you a call.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, comments from the audience?
No, I have one thing on our old business.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Steve's here. He wants to talk about, well, I can talk for him, I guess, a proposal to offer the city $1 million to settle that loan up. Steve, you want to get up and talk about it, or? I know we've talked about it before, but.
Hi, guys. Last week I was here, or 2 weeks ago. I settled another one of my loans with you guys. And I talked to a few of the city council people, and I asked if, if I came up with $1 million, we can just get these attorneys out of the way, because they're doing nothing but cost the city so much money. And they're costing me a lot of money, too. But I propose that I, give you guys $1 million, and we call it quits on the money that I owe the city.
How much do you owe?
Around $3 million.
Didn't you sue us?
Well, you know what, Dell, I'm suing you right now, so I probably shouldn't talk to you. I didn't come here to address you.
Attorney's fees.
I didn't come here to address you, Dell.
Okay.
One of my points were even, I told Steve I'd bring this up, is that this has been going on for at least 8 years. I mean, we've sued Steve, we've won. Steve's appealed, we've won. How much money have we got? We've got nothing from it. We've won everything, but we've got no money. I mean, he's won to offer $1 million just to get it done. Otherwise, we're not gonna still get any money.
Well, now, I spoke with Steve too, and he owes over $3 million. And I don't think it's right for taxpayers to take a $2 million hit. So we spoke on.
Yeah, we did,
give
Tony, you're
$1
right.
million.
Yeah.
He's gonna have the property up there that's worth a lot of money in dirt, and they're gonna need that dirt. to go
You know,
on the other
there's
side.
there's nothing solid about that.
I know, it's not.
I mean, there really isn't. And, you know, I've got over $2 million in improvements on that property that actually the city owns. You know, they own the road and they own all the utilities that I put in.
Well, I would have to have some other kind of deal besides the $1 million.
What do
where
you
We can
think?
get that dirt. That's why I said, come up with a plan.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we can work together, come up with a plan.
Let's do it right here, right now.
I don't think you're gonna come up with a plan this quick.
I don't
Steve.
care. I'll do whatever.
Then we get all the dirt free off the hillside to fill up the riverside. See what I mean? We ain't gonna work it out in 5 minutes.
Well, here's the thing. You know what? Let's, once you guys take a motion, vote on it, see what happens. I can always come back later.
Well,
I would love to get this done.
We can't do that. I mean, you have a co-defendant, right?
I can do anything I want.
Well, but you can't settle your lawsuit on behalf of somebody else.
What are you talking about that, Dale?
Well, you have a co-defendant in your case.
You mean I have a partner?
Correct.
Yeah, I have the authority to do what I want to do from my partner.
I know, but we can't just settle a lawsuit at a city council meeting. You understand that, right?
Well, you know what? It's worth a try.
Well, send us a proposal and we'll.
And you won't show it to these guys. You haven't showed these guys anything, Dale. I've been doing this for 6 years.
That's not true, Steve.
No, it's true. It is so true.
Dale,
Not all of it with you, but the last administration I had problems with, and then this administration I've had problems with. And I kind of don't think the communications have been so good.
Steve, why don't you go ahead and put it in writing, and bring it to me, and I can get it to the other council.
Or
All right.
could we have a work session on it?
Sure, I would do that.
And just
Absolutely.
iron it out. But like I said, I can't forgive $2 million.
Hey,
to a
you know what?
taxpayer.
I've
If
spent a
there's
lot
gotta
of
be
money.
Something coming back.
I
to
know
it.
that the city of Lawrenceburg has spent a lot of money, and the only people that win in lawsuits are the attorneys.
Yeah, you're
And we
right.
all know that.
I agree with that 100%. And I think we could work this out.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, guys.
So can somebody get together for a work session on this?
Yeah, we can call work session.
I have a question. I don't know appropriate right now, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. I have a storage area up at, that Linkmeyer storage. Where do I send the check? Who do I send the check to? Still the receiver, or do I send it to Steve?
It's still in the receivership. We have to wind down the receivership and we have to close out that lawsuit, that case. It's still pending in court.
Okay,
So we still have some work we have to
so
do.
it still goes through receiver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, you guys took my money a couple weeks ago. And was that a pending lawsuit?
All that should have been dropped.
Yeah.
I thought, according to this.
Hey,
Our
I
agreement.
can't, it doesn't happen overnight. We have to have a hearing. in
But
front
it
of
is being dropped.
It
right?
is, yeah, it is.
Okay.
So what's the time frame on me getting clear title?
What's that?
What's the time frame on me getting clear title to that property that I paid 2 weeks ago?
We have to get back in front of the judge, Steve, and we'll let you know.
Do you have any idea?
I don't. It's up to the judge.
I'll talk to somebody more about it, Steve, and see what the process is.
Thank you.
Comments from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
I'm assuming my question is for Olin, because you said you weren't the proper person to ask about that whole ordeal with your $4,000, and you said you weren't the person to ask, right?
No,
So would it be Olin? I mean, I don't know who to ask.
Ask
I mean,
me.
is that open for anybody that owns property in the city limits?
No, it's not.
Okay.
For the record, I did not. All right. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to add, I just had a real quick
I just have a real quick question. I have talked to you about this previously, about this internet that's supposed to be going in, that was supposed to have been finished in October of 2018, I believe was the date set on it. Can you give me a status on that?
Yeah, we are hooking up anywhere from 2 to 6 customers a day. The average is a solid 2. We never said the system would be done in October of last year. We started hooking customers up back then, but we didn't say it would be done. It will be years before it's done.
And how many have you hooked up?
I don't have those numbers in front of me. I can tell you this, based on the financials, this month for fiber, the losses were $480, which means that we're experiencing somewhere between 300 and 400% increase in customers per week.
You're having that much increase in customers, but yet
Absolutely.
I can't find anybody that's really hooked into it, and everybody wants to know about it.
There's several people who are hooked into it. There's people here in the room that are hooked into it.
On Butler, I believe, is the street that's finished.
Butler, I'd have to look. No, there's multiple people all over town, downtown and up on the hill. Mr. Abner's a customer.
A couple of houses down from me.
Yeah.
So if you come down and you sign up for it, then you have no time frame of
Oh, no,
when?
we'll give you a time frame. If you come in and open an account for fiber, we'll give you a time frame for when we expect to be at your house to hook you up.
Gee, I call every week.
Have you been in to open the account?
Yes.
So you've opened an account with us?
Yes.
Okay.
And I call every week, and I can never get an answer.
Well, if you'll make time tomorrow, I'll speak with you directly about that, and I'll get you an answer as to when we expect to be to your house to hook you up.
Okay. I can call you tomorrow, or I can come
Absolutely.
in, or?
You can come in either one. I'll be happy to see it. If we can make it tomorrow afternoon, it'd be great. But I will make time to sit down and talk with you and figure out exactly what the issue is and when you can expect for us to be at your home.
Because I've previously sat down with the other gentleman that's working on that, and I have not got much from him. I spoke with the mayor, and I've got nothing from him. And
Come in tomorrow afternoon, and let's see if we can figure out your situation, and we'll get you a firm time.
Okay, fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Donna. I've got a question. The Edinburgh that the city owns, there's a woman there that's already paid for the internet. And then she was told that she can't get it until the city pays to put a, lack of terms, I don't know, the main box on the outside of the building.
Yeah, so
If the city has to buy that, I'd like to know how much it is so we can get that done for those residents. of that
Moosh and
part
I
of the
met
building.
this morning about that issue. We've talked about it a few times, but we met this morning about that issue. He's waiting on a couple things to come in so we can get that price back to you, but it is something that's at the top of our list to get back to you for the total pricing for it.
Okay, so you don't have that price ready now then?
I don't have it ready now,
Because I'd like
no.
to get it at this meeting, because then it would have to go to the USB board meeting probably, I don't know.
We can have that price for you this week, I can tell you that.
Could you put the price just in the USB board packet?
Sure,
Because we have that
absolutely.
on Monday.
Yep, absolutely.
But we wouldn't be able to vote to buy it. I just thought that would have to be this board to buy it. Or the Board of Works, one of the two, or could be redevelopment. Who owns that building? Redevelopment? So it would have to go to redevelopment would have to pay for it.
They don't meet till October.
Oh, special meeting, are you on there?
No, I'm not on there. Yeah, you can call a special meeting. I mean, they're over there waiting for it, and this woman's actually paid for it.
Yeah, she's probably come in and set her account up. She's not being billed until she actually receives the service.
Well, she said she paid $26 the first month or something.
Yeah, the first month's are prepaid because we true up. So if you get served on the 15th, right, we give you service on the 15th, we always square that up with your first full month of service. Because different than electric, you pay in advance for the data. You don't pay it 30 days after the fact. And that's common. That's how you have to bill those kinds of things.
Okay, well, if you could have that ready for the redevelopment
Sure.
board, apparently, and get it moving. Thanks.
Okay,
That's all I got.
all right. Anyone else? Yes, Mike.
I want to address the grinder pump because you know, I've been quiet about a lot of things, but I've been reading the newspaper and all this stuff, investigations, Mr. Clausen. I'm going to tell you, I'm not here to protect Mr. Clausen, because I'm going to tell you, I'm not real happy with Mr. Clausen not bringing this out, because I think the public should know. What I believe is that is the same as taking payment in advance, which is illegal, and both of us know that. But here's the thing, why should our mayor be special from me or any other resident? Because I tell you what, I think I've bought 4 of them grinder pumps. And the first time, and I talked to Mr. Davis, and you know, there was no help for me, and I can appreciate that was the rules. But why are you treated different than me? I know she's got property, most people in this room's got property. So since I read about, especially the attorney center's investigations going on, ongoing investigations, and the things about Mr. Clausen, I'm asking the police chief to contact the state police to have this investigated to see, is this a crime? Because I will tell you, sure, we're at election time, so people should know if it was a crime. And our police chief should not be the one to do it, it should be the state police. But I know, I mean, you're smirking a little bit, but I find it offensive that you are treated differently than me and every other citizen.
I find this very offensive, Mike.
And also, so Aaron doesn't take heat, I'm the one that give it to Aaron, so you can give all the heat to Mike.
Where'd you get it from?
That's not your business.
I get that.
It's public record. Why are you worried? Hold on, if you're worried about public record, because I watched a video about transparency the other night, but these gentlemen couldn't speak.
Was there a public records request?
Didn't say that's public record. Passes all over the roads. Now, I did serve public record requests many times about the attorney bills. Never have gotten them other than blacked out so you can't see anything. But we need transparency, boys.
You're right.
It's what it's about.
You're right.
Transparency.
Thank
Do
you.
it.
Anyone else?
I have one more thing on a lighter note.
What's that?
I don't know, 6 years ago, a different administration, they agreed to put a tree up in our street park and a plaque for Mrs. Rudolph. And I think we did this same thing in the beginning of our administration. There still ain't no tree and no plaque. Can we get on that, Mario?
I think we were gonna decide what kind of tree and
Well, after
plaque, and I think there was committee, I think Tina was part of the committee and never got put in place.
put an oak in and just a rock and a plaque. The poor lady deserves it. It's supposed to have been done a long time ago.
I recall the plaque. I didn't recall the tree.
Yeah, we're gonna plant a tree, because actually, when we moved Art Street Park, there was a tree planted in the old Art Street Park for her. And it was supposed to be moved over, and then we couldn't move it over or something, so then we talked, we're gonna put a new one there.
Okay. Well, let's get it done.
You wanna come up with the verbiage and get with me, and we'll
Okay, I'll see if I can get a hold of her granddaughters. I think there's 1 or 2 of them still in town.
okay. You may check with Tina, because she, 6 years ago, I think she was part of that discussion.
All right, I'll get with her.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right, we got advanced claims for approval?
Yes. These are Fall Fest claims. I passed those out to everybody. So the first, let's start from the bottom. The bottom for Ripley Publishing for $950 is for advertising. Connie Canoe, $250, that is for a pie eating contest. And then the remaining claims on there will be for the small stage events, and that totals $2,900. We just need a motion separate from the regular claims for a payment in advance on those.
Can I get a motion to approve any questions on those first? I need a motion to approve?
Since I'm on the Fall Fest committee, can I make the motion or not?
Well, and Aaron works there, so you're not gonna be able to. So move. Okay, second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. Entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. And a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion will carry. 7:45 will be the,
6:45.
or 6:45, in 5 minutes will be the Public hearing for additional appropriations.
And my real signature? Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a while. When we come down and talk to Moosh that day, it takes a while.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, man, you can't think of it. Okay, and this is going to with the new stuff. That's the guy, the son's American Legion.
Yeah, I'm sure we do, but I tell you what, you give me a call tomorrow, and you and I'll pin Moose down. You and I'll pin Moose down.
Someone here,
We'll
I
get
can
you, we'll get you named.
We can utilize it there. It'd probably be the best place anyway.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take you that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shouldn't take that long.
You sure? Yeah. Okay.
Little bitty box they put on
Thank
the
you.
outside, and then with the router or not, so
Body
you have wireless
guy.
in your house, so put that into.
And we want to get you some stuff, so I'll talk to you. Are they going to it all up, or just we'll get the dates figured out?
One for Mark.
Get my pen.
Thank you.
We can do that when we go to.
I know it is. I brought that from work.
Unless you are.
They get some prices on that?
Legion bought it.
Oh, Legion bought it?
For the one up on the far. When we go to read it.
How's it going? Been doing any singing lately? Yeah.
One on the hill, one down
Yeah. Down there every weekend.
No, we don't have one.
We will.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, we will.
Eventually.
Yeah.
It's cool. Friday and Saturday at least.
Gonna call this to order.
Yeah.
A meeting.
Well, they're just, that's the motion. What do you think it is?
Gotcha.
Same mayor.
Yeah. What do you think, Dennis? Want them to put it in the park.
Wheelchair swing, that's a pretty good idea, really.
And then when they redo the one downtown, they put one in the park that way, have one on the hill, one downtown. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. It's something I think would be nice to have in there.
Oh, yeah, no, we got, well, listen,
Well, that's the second
we got
phase.
we got a park committee, the big playground up there.
One in the back.
They met again last week. There's 5 people, maybe 5 community members that live up there. And they're putting together their ideas, and then we're gonna send it off to the playground people to design, okay? And so it's gonna be their design.
See, the phase one was the one right behind the ball diamond, football field. It's a small one compared to this next one.
And
All right. All right, I'll let you use them for a while. Jane keeps stealing my pen.
Mario told me,
Like
you guys don't enjoy the
I borrowed it from someplace, I can't remember.
I'm just
where I
gonna have to
borrowed
do
it.
something else.
Always what from him?
Yeah, you know, that's not. I have.
That's done.
We can if you want. Grandbaby sent from Virginia.
passing it tonight.
Huh?
We're passing it.
Yeah,
So the ordinance number.
If it passes without.
$14.
What ordinance is here? You got my pen.
This is 15.
12. 14 to 15. Be 15.
Pretty good.
15.
I'd like to open up the public hearing on additional appropriations. Any questions?
I have a question down at the bottom of it. What's the 15,324,000 for?
Where you at?
At the very bottom. Municipal development.
Let me see here. Brittany, you're gonna have to help me out here.
15 million of the Clarity and Collins project.
Okay.
We have to appropriate it.
That's
So
what I thought.
It's not gonna be paid out until everything is finalized, but it has to be appropriated.
Do they get that 15 million one shot? It's not as they build?
They'll get it.
Well, it's part of the development agreement, however the development agreement was presented, yes. Yes.
But we haven't voted on that yet, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Or yeah, yeah.
Yep, the loan agreement,
We haven't voted on
Loan
the loan
agreement.
agreement. Right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 15-2019
15-2019.
unanimously if, on first reading, if passed unanimously.
Mayor, Mel's not here, so how's that work
Where'd he go?
for the unanimous part?
He'll be back. He's in the bathroom.
Snuck out. I didn't see him leave.
Yeah.
Wait.
Turn the lights on and off.
Turn the lights off on.
I just want you to know, I would not vote to pass this. And the only reason I'm voting yes to pass it is for the rest of the people that need the money. But when it comes to Flannery and Collins on that vote, I'll still vote no on that.
May change your mind.
Hmm?
May change your mind.
I'll never change my mind on that.
Waiting for you. Waiting for you.
I'm not doing
Alright.
that again.
I will
I about
repeat.
passed out instead of him. He did great.
I will entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 15-2019, and we will pass it tonight if everything is in unanimous fashion on the vote. Can I get a motion?
Don't look at me.
So move.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. Thank you. Public hearing is adjourned. Thank you.
Sorry for my tardiness.
That's okay.
You and I were talking about the Reds.
The Reds? Reds? Who, Joey Votto? He's just trying to walk more. He's just trying to walk more.
Trying to get in the Hall of Fame.